How you doing? Matt Pierce with Elite Baseball. Going to use Jock Peterson here to talk about the barrel turn. Let you see it in the hitter so you can kind of see it work and what we're talking about from earlier posts this week. So what we're going to see right here with Jock is the ball's going to become in flight, and you're going to see Jock kind of start to rotate his hips away from the pitch, putting his left hip in an external rotation to kind of post that leg. And that's what's going to make his shoulders kind of turn back or turn in. This isn't an active move by the hands or pulling back of the elbow. It's not an active move of the front shoulder tipping in. It's caused by an external rotation of the rear hip, and it's a timing mechanism that they use. What we're also not going to see is we're not going to see an early scap low. We're not going to see him pinch that elbow back towards the dugout here. You're going to see that kind of happen later. The first thing he's going to do is his hands are going to start to work up in his swing, in his positive move and his coil out. They're going to start working up, trying to separate the body and get ready to get into that separation movement where the lower half is already kind of driving out and the upper half is staying behind it. That's what we call letting the ball get deep. So if we start to move this clip here, you're going to see his hands are still working down a little bit. He's getting in his coil, and now his hands are going to begin to work up. The hands are working up not because he's actively taking the bat and throwing it over his shoulder, but because, as you can see a little bit now, that rear hip is in a full external, and it's the knee, you can't see it, but it's starting to drive underneath him a little bit more, and that's causing a separation. The further he gets into this move and the knee starts to come further towards the pitcher, it's going to put him in a deeper external rotation. That bat's going to flatten out behind him. Here we go. Now we have him in a pretty good external rotation. The swing is now happening behind him. This gives Jock a lot of advantages. It's allowing him to create a bat speed behind him and deep versus a bat speed that's going to be directed towards or at the baseball. So every pitch, this motion allows Jock to gain bat speed without directing it. So whether it's a ball or a strike, he doesn't know yet, but he's generating a bat speed for when he does make up his mind if it's a ball or strike. He simply has to release the bat speed that's been created through this move. As you can see now, the hands still aren't being actively pulled forward. They're just coming along with the turn of the shoulders and the turn of the hips. He's still on the right side. His hands have not moved location from his back shoulder in his move. He maintains hinge angle on the bat. He's got a right angle with the bottom hand, a right angle with the top hand. We can prove that there's no active movement of the hands forward across the chest because the elbow distance from each other, it never changes. He's simply driving that lower half and allowing that shoulder to go into external rotation so that barrel can work behind him. Once he planes the bat, I would say about right here, he's made a decision that he's going to release this swing and he's going to allow it playing a little bit better, and the swing's coming out from behind the hitter. He's not bringing it over the top of the shoulder. His hands are still on the left side of his body, and he's hitting this ball on the left side of his body. It's a very good move by Jock, why he's one of my favorite hitters. The hands are still above the letters. The only reason it looks to be like they're below the letters is because of the tilt in the shoulders, but the barrel is coming behind him. Notice he's not allowing the top hand to extend yet. He's into contact and it hasn't extended. This hand's not going to extend till now. So we're saying is the rotation of the barrel is pulling him through extension versus an active push of the top hand. You can really see that shoulder externally rotate. He's supinating that top hand to get the palm up, palm down. That extends him, and he drives through the baseball. We can also see this move in another good hitter in Ryan Braun. We come over here to Braun, pull him up, and the first thing people are going to say is, oh, he takes his hands back. He pushes his hands away from him. He arm bars the bat. And we don't really talk about front arm mechanics, but arm bar is not necessarily bad. But when a lot of people see this move and they try and teach it, they think the hands are loading themselves. He's drawing a bow back is what you might hear. He's pulling his hands back. And what you see happen, his shoulder's going to go into external. The bat's going to lay down behind him, and now he's going to supinate that top hand to hit the ball, and now he's going to extend the arm. The barrel begins to extend the arm about at this position. The barrel has full momentum and is going in. So just like Jock, he's created a bat speed behind him. The bat speed's being created. Now he doesn't know. Now he's engaged in the swing, and the barrel's allowed to come through. So how do we know he's not actively pulling the hands back? Because if I put a line on right through his hands right here, we're going to see his hands work up that line, not away from that line. So what you're seeing is, and we haven't talked about it yet, he posts up on this leg right here. He's going to post up, and he's going to allow this hip to coil behind him to pull him away and start this separation. The hip's going to start to drive the knee back down. The barrel's still on the right side of the hitter, and he's going to bring it out from behind him, hit the ball, and then extend through. Top level swings. This is barrel turn at his best. Barrel works deep. As rotation begins, he's going to leave his shoulder back. He's going to allow external rotation. Scat pinch is happening now. And now the whole top half right side just gets launched through the baseball. He doesn't actively swing the arms through the baseball. He's launched it with his whole kinetic chain in a turning fashion. This is what we look for when we say turning the barrel. Turning the barrel to extend the arm versus extending the arm to turn the barrel. I hope it made a little bit more sense. Hope to see you next time. Matt Pierce with Elite Baseball. If you need to contact me, hope to hear from you soon.